Sometimes we are hesitant to ask for help, even though we could use help and we are not able to do what needs to be done by ourselves, but we would like to keep trying rather than go and ask somebody for help. Um, in my lifetime, computers were developed. One time, one of my children asked me, um, Dad, when you were my age, what computer did you have? And I was like, when I was your age, there were probably only a half a dozen computers in the world, and they would have filled the whole room, and I didn't have any idea that I would ever need a computer or ever want a computer. But when I was in my 30s and 40s, computers started to come into use, and I remember the first computer we got at the Northern Youth Programs office in Dryden. It just had one. It had no hard drive. It just had one floppy disk drive, and you would have to put in your program disk, and then you would do your work, bookkeeping. We used it for bookkeeping. You would do your bookkeeping work, and then when you wanted to save your data, then you had to take the program disk out, put in your data disk, and be switching disks back and forth. Um, Eventually, we got a computer with a hard drive, and our first computer with a hard drive had a 10 megabyte hard drive, and we thought, wow, that's so much space. We'll never fill up a 10 megabyte hard drive. Well, today you couldn't even load an operating system on a computer with only a 10 megabyte hard drive. So things have really changed. I also found that computers can be kind of uh, delicate machines, and sometimes they stop working, and I don't understand computers that much, but I found that sometimes when I would open up the case of the computer and wiggle things around and clean things out and get the dust out of there and put it back together, sometimes it would work. And my theory was that computers are scared of me because they know I have a screwdriver, they know I can open them up, but they know that I don't really know what I'm doing. So it'd be kind of like if you were going to the hospital for surgery and the surgeon said, "Yes, I have a scalpel. I can operate on you, but I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'll just check." You would soon say, "Oh, I feel good. I'm good. No problem. I don't need surgery." So sometimes, uh, just me messing around with the computer a little bit, I don't know what I did, but it starts working. Well, one time at the office, we had a computer that wasn't working, and I started working on it. I did more and more things to it. I opened it up. I worked with it. But the more I did, the less it worked. And I kept trying things and it would do less and less. Finally, I couldn't even get it to boot up anymore. It wouldn't even start. So I didn't have any choice. I took it to the computer repair shop in Dryden, and it was there for maybe a week, and then the technician called and said, "Okay, your computer's ready to pick up." So I went in to pick it up, and the technician said to me, "Now, Merle, tell me, just what did you do to that computer?" And I said, "I don't really know what I did. I just kept trying things, and the more I tried, the worse it got. And eventually it wouldn't even boot up." And he said, "I know you were doing things to it." But he said, "Can I give you a word of advice?" Sure. Yeah, I'm always open for advice. He said, "Well, if you're digging a hole in your backyard, and then while you're digging, you think, I don't really know that I want a hole in my backyard. Probably the best thing to do is to stop digging." Okay, thank you. I understand what you're saying. I know that's true. Sometimes when we're doing something and it's not working, we think, "Oh, if I just try harder, if I do it more, then it'll work." But maybe The best thing is to stop doing what we're doing before it gets worse and go and ask for advice from somebody who knows more than we do or get help from someone who knows what they're doing because we can't do everything by ourselves. We need other people, and other people can help us with the things that are difficult for us to do ourselves. If you're digging a hole in your backyard and then you realize you don't really want a hole there, probably the best thing to do is to stop digging.